Welcome to the Gabe Gallucci Golf Show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Gabe Gallucci Golf Show. Solo pod today. Dave is off somewhere for work. And honestly, I just wanted to jump on here and kind of talk to you guys one-on-one, bring you up to speed on the latest tournament round, some new shoes I'm testing, which I'm really excited about if you haven't seen the video. And I just got back from physio, so I got some updates on kind of the injury and what that entails and how that kind of works into all this. Plus, hopefully I can give you a little insight as to some of the evolution and the learnings. Because as you're about to hear, normally, if what I have just gone through would have happened in years prior, the alarm bells would be sounding at such a level that I don't even know if I could hear myself think. And it's very different now, my approach to everything. And I'm actually quite astounded at my demeanor. And maybe you will be too. So hopefully this can provide you with some somewhat of an entertaining day or moment in your day. Hopefully this can provide some entertaining moment in your day as I go through the madness that is my tournament this past weekend. And so, yeah, buckle up and let's just jump into it. So this weekend I had the Chilliwack Open, which is hosted here at Chilliwack Golf Club. And it's great because it's a hometown event for me. So I normally have to drive about 45 minutes to an hour to every tournament I play. And so it was really nice to have a home game where, 10 minutes away feels good. Also, if you saw my most recent one of my more recent videos, it's my new home course is Chilliwack Golf Club. So I am practicing out of here now. And this place honestly slaps me around. That's part of the reason why I'm excited to make it home base is that, it's not a very long golf course. Like for my length, that's not the issue. It's all the finesse required to really maximize your score on this golf course. There are some tough green complexes. Green complexes are not overly big. You really have to hit the shot, and it exposes a lot of your short game flaws. And that is 100% something that manifested itself for me this weekend. So I scored horrific, okay? I shot 87 the first day, and I shot 84 the second day, which was just horrible, okay? But let me give you some context as to how we got to that point, okay? So I've got my scorecard up in front of me, and I track some of my stats, and this is great. So if I count it out here, my scorecard, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double bogeys that I made. 5 of those were bunker related. So one of them, which was unfortunate, hole 4 on the first day, I had a phenomenal shot into this par 3, and it was coming in high. I thought it was perfect. One of the better shots I've hit. And this thing just hit the green and took the biggest hop and went over the back and then into the water. And so then I had to chip on and I made double from there. Very unfortunate. That was a very good shot. So that was one double that doesn't get, a pass. The other remaining doubles were the most horrific bunker shots I could have had. I was in position on these either par 4s or par 5s and just absolutely went eject mode out of the bunkers. I couldn't figure out my bunker game at all this weekend. So I made 5 doubles plus a quad on the final day on hole 17, which was awesome. I was greenside, and for my second shot, I absolutely rocket shipped this shot 40 yards, 50 yards over the green. And yeah, that was great. To a pin that was just from the direction I put it, immediately short-sided, and I was in a ton of trouble. So that was not good. So 5 doubles plus a quad. And then if I look at my bogeys here, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think it's 12 bogeys total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 bogeys total. Okay. And 9 of those were within 10 yards of the green. 2 of those were 3 putts. Okay. So basically, all those doubles, actually including, if you look at even the par 3 where I had to get up and down from the drop zone, at least 20 shots were lost this weekend alone within 10 yards of the green. Whether it was a greenside bunker, whether it was a chip shot, there were 20 shots at a minimum lost within 10 yards of the green. So ball striking wise, I didn't even hit it bad, which is the funniest part. Like, I'm not even hitting it bad. And it's crazy to me what has been happening with some of my short game and these bunkers. All my doubles from bunkers, which is just the funniest part. Like, it got so comical that I just didn't even know what to do with myself after a while, because it was just so deflating. Because if I look at how my kind of day progressed, especially on day 1, like, hit a great tee shot on the opening hole, had a bit of a fluff chip and got up and down for par. That was good. Second hole, pounded driver, and I had a wedge in and hit a really good shot from 123 yards to a front pin and had like 8 feet left for birdie. I'd never birdied this hole before, which was unreal. So when I was clicking, it was great. And I, like, most of the pars that you're seeing on my scorecard were birdie looks that didn't convert, because I also didn't make any putts after basically those 2 holes. After those 2 holes to start the day, I made nothing for the rest of the weekend. Nothing. So majority of the pars that I got weren't scrambly pars. They were birdies that I didn't make. Some close, some not close. In terms of, like, you know, percentage wise, a birdie that you should make or whatever, or at least have a higher chance of making. Excuse me. So made 0 putts, which also made some of the bogeys tough, because I was not getting bailed out from anywhere from the putter, because my chipping and my greenside work was just so bad. So it was so comical. So comical. Like, I was beside myself, because again, it's the funniest feeling. And I think this is hilarious. And hopefully you're enjoying this. I previously, if this had happened to me, would have been in full-on meltdown mode. Like, ready to just be so viciously angry with myself, the game of golf, and just be so pissed and not know what to do with myself. And it's so funny. On the Saturday night, I came home and hung out with my girlfriend, and like it was fine. Everything's fine. And same thing on Sunday. And I'm not even angry telling you guys this. And I think this has been one of the craziest mental flips that has happened in the past, I guess maybe 80 days now of switching up this swing, is that, like, I know I'm doing the right things and I am on the path. The unfortunate reality is there are some things that are happening in the midst of doing this that are just so comically horrific, and it's hilarious. And some of you would be like, well, there's no excuse. You should never do that. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I don't. Because I'm in the process of figuring it out. I'm transferring my motion entirely. And it's so funny, like, when I look at videos of before and after, how handsy and crappy I was. And so part of it is, like, I guess in the bunkers, there's something I'm doing technique-wise that is horrific, and I just didn't know what to do all weekend, and I tried different things. And to be honest, I think part of it is, like, I didn't care about the result. Like, I was still trying to swing with intent every time I was in a bunker. I just was trying potentially different ways of manipulating my swing to see if I could get a result that worked. I unfortunately failed horrifically at that. But nothing was as a result of trying to play small or pull back or whatever. I stayed fully committed to my swing, to my process throughout the entire weekend. failed horrifically at score, but stayed very committed to swinging with intent at everything and accepting the fact that it was going to go sideways potentially. And when it did go sideways, yes, it sucked, but I accepted that that was what it was. I can't do anything about it, and I can't go backwards. And that's a very interesting mental place to be, because historically I would have hated this. Like, there's no way I would have allowed. Oh man, the self-talk, I would have gone to. It's so funny. Anyway, it's just wild. So that was fun. Another interesting piece too was, switching to the draw with this new swing obviously did not help, because I'm still learning how to see a draw sometimes. I can see it kind of up to an 8-iron. Beyond an 8-iron, I don't see it yet. Off the tee, I can see it with like a 4-iron on a short par 4. I can see a long iron. I can see and feel what I need to do on that shot. On some of the longer par 3s or maybe approaches into par 5s, still learning that. And as a result, I'm still not great at still seeing my targets. And so I ended up in a decent amount of bunkers or in some interesting spots that I had to chip from, because I'm still figuring out how to pick my targets and hit the shape. And there were some shots I hit this weekend that were sick. And that's what gives me hope. When I look at video, when I look at the shots I am pulling off and the stuff I'm doing, it is where I want to be. And I'm not hitting these like low, skanky, right, weak, fade crap shots that I used to hit. So it's moving. It's just, oh man, it is so bad sometimes. Holy fuck, guys. Like, I can't, oh man. And you just got to eat it. Like, one hole, this wasn't a double. But this one was incredibly special to go through. So it's hole 6. Yeah. Hole 6 is like a drivable par 4. And on the first day, second day, it was a bogey. Sorry, it was a double. But on the first day, I hit this amazing 3-wood, and I thought it was tracking towards the pin. It hits the top of the bunker and just falls in. And then I knife it over the bunker, then have to lob it over another bunker and then chip it on, and I make the putt. Second day wasn't as lucky. Made double. And it was like I hit the 3-wood I needed to hit. The hard part is hitting the 3-wood 270 in the air. Now, I guess maybe I didn't hit it good enough, because I should have cleared it. But it's funny stuff like that, like hole 13 is another good example. Okay. Hole 13 there is essentially a par 4 because of the way it's set up. If you hit it decently long, it's a par 4. So I had 127 left on the first day into this par 5. And I had 135 left on the second day. And knowing that, you would assume I would have played this hole at 2 under. And I played this hole 1 over. Because, and this is something I need to adjust, I landed it poorly both days and ended up where it bounced off the green. Like, I was trying to manage my spin into this green, and day 1, it bounced off, and then I chipped it on, it ran through the green, then I chipped it on, and then I 2-putted from there and made bogey. So that was great. And then the second day, I Texas wedged it instead and was able to get up and down for par. That is ridiculous that is the case. So, and I didn't hit bad shots into the green. Again, I have to learn how to manage the spin, and I'm learning how to manage these things. But it's just funny, right? That's an example of like a hole I should have played a 2 under for the weekend. and didn't. I didn't birdie a single par 5 all weekend. I didn't birdie a single par 5, which is, again, horrific. And I didn't make a putt to save my life. So just the combination of all those things. The funny part is, and this is where it is also, I find it very comical, okay? Hole 11, there is the par 5 that if you saw How to Make a Quintuple Bogey, this hole wrecks me. Made par both days, which is hilarious. The other hole that destroys me, and I think I have made double here every year prior playing this tournament, is hole 12. It's a par 3 that plays kind of downwind. There's water on the right. The green looks a lot shorter front to back than it is from the tee box. So your landing area looks very small. Excuse me. Your landing area looks very small. And for some reason, I hit 2 great iron shots both days and made par. I had birdie looks both days on this hole. And I've never had a birdie look on this hole in any tournament I've played prior here. So this is where it's so funny. Like the hard holes that normally are the ones that historically in this tournament I have made double to quad on. I made par both days, which is just absolutely hilarious to me. Now, maybe if I ended up in a bunker, I would have had less fun. But again, and then another one is like hole 10. I made double on that hole both days from the middle of the fairway because I ended up the one day I had a really bad. I ended up short siding myself, and it was poor tee. It was, you know what it is. Again, I'm trying to learn how to hit these draws, and I just picked a poor target or a poor distance. But again, I can't get up and down out of these bunkers. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So we shot horrific. We played horrific. But there is a lot of positivity to glean from this. And I don't think historically I would have been ever able to make this podcast and have this conversation with this line of thinking, which is, I think, the victory of the weekend. Because this is just not possible. And I just don't care that I shot that. I really don't, which is funny. Do I love it? No, I don't love that that's the case, but I don't care because I'm going to figure out how to fix some of these wedges and this chipping stuff. And the reason why I know that is because now I can hit these half wedges. Like I can hit 100 to an 80-yard wedge. I had to do that a couple times this weekend and was totally fine. I had to hit a couple 50, 60-yard wedges, was totally fine. So that historically has been what has ruined me. I could figure out bunkers and I can figure out chipping. We can figure that out. And then putting, I don't know. It was just a weird weekend. I just didn't make anything. But I historically have never putted well at this tournament, which is part of the reason why I want to practice more at this course and I need to figure out how to just be a better putter. Because it's there. And I'm not missing by a lot. We're missing by like fractions, small fractions. So it's the accumulation of all these things that it's going to be there. Because when the good shots are there, when I'm seeing the manifestation of this new swing in action, it is dope. Like I hit some especially on the back nine on Sunday, I hit some shots that were starting to see like, okay, this is how we can play some golf. Like, and driver was great. Like the game is coming the right way, the way I want to do it. I'm just going to have to keep getting my teeth kicked in the process. Now with that, the injury has kind of perked its head a little bit. I was able to play this weekend because it was so hot that it was like 35 degrees Celsius. So it was okay. And I was able to stay somewhat loose. I just got back from physio. There's my hips and my left, like underneath my shoulder blade is just jacked up from from just my music career, from doing this golf stuff and all this. So part of what I'm also feeling is that like there are some physical issues that I'm battling that sometimes if I don't fire everything correctly, like I have a bit of a left miss that as a result, and I can feel myself pull and like kind of not bail out of the swing, but it's a consequence of this issue. And I don't love that because I need to solve this in order to move forward. So I think for the time being, like I just don't see myself playing a tournament for the next probably 2 months. I think I will look at tournaments again. Again, I could be totally off base here, but maybe, I think there's a couple one-day events in September. But most likely, until I can fix this and swing properly, I'm just lighting my cash on fire. And I honestly need to scale back a little bit of how much I'm playing in order to like rehab this and let this heal, because there's some exercises I need to do. There's some things I need to do in order to do the things I need to do for this swing to happen. And I'm just so excited for how this swing is developing. And this is what I've wanted since I've started this is to have my swing look and function this particular way. And I need my hips and I need this left side to be fixed in order to reach the max potential of this and also my max potential athletically. And I'm going to put a big premium on that. But that means I'm also going to be able to have more fun and just play and I've never given myself the freedom to just have fun and enjoy kind of golf without some like massive fear of, oh my God, like, what am I going to do with my swing? What am I going to do? Like just that panic. So I have a golf trip coming up that I'm really excited about. Two of my buddies who are subscribers of the channel, and I met them through the channel. And we played golf a couple years ago, and I'm going to rip out to their neck of the woods, and we're just going to play some golf and just have fun. And I'm going to be doing a lot of that for the next couple months as I train, as I rehab, as I do all these things. I'm still going to do some of the men's nights. I'm still going to get my reps in. I'm still going to do everything I need to do to move the ball forward. But I just don't see the point of playing tournaments right now until I can fix these things, because, waking up after 2 days of tournament golf, like that left side was just wrecked, like what I need to do there's just no way I can sustain this without taking a more concerted break to address this. And if I don't, I'm afraid it can just turn into a lingering issue that'll just never let me manifest my swing into a more competitive spot. And so, yeah, so this is going to be my last tournament for a while. It was unfortunate because I thought this year was going to be very different. I thought I was going to be playing tournaments every weekend, and I was really hoping for that to be my trajectory, but it's not the case. But that's fine, because we're on a better path, and this is the path I'm supposed to be on. And you know what? From doing this now for years, so much of this golf journey has brought peace in other areas of my life as a result of on-course learning. There's so much on-course lessons that translate off the course. And it seems like I'm getting a lot more of the off-the-course lessons before I see the on-course true results of all my work. It's like all my life stuff has been something I've been cleaning up and taking care of. And it's just so funny how all this is kind of panned out. And this is not the way I would have drawn it up. But I think that's the funny thing about golf is like you don't get to choose. And I've just continued to get so many other things revealed to me through golf, and a lot of it is just the big demeanor change. And I wonder if you guys see it too, and please comment if you do. I really feel like I've been able to let go. And I truly, I can feel that. It's like, it's just lighter, it's like, I want to be fun again. And I talked about this in my I don't give a fuck video. It's like, I was just so serious. I was trying to be so serious, and I just don't feel that anymore. And yes, I still feel anger, but it's not the same. It doesn't stay, hold, and sting the way it used to. And then if I had bad results, there would be this like referendum on who I am as a person that would happen. And there was just all this unnecessary negativity I was like putting into myself. And that's kind of gone. Like I don't feel that anymore. And I just want to do the right things to move forward so I can do this the right way. And I'm really pumped about that. And I just love the path I'm on now, that I can see that light. When in my music world, I could hear what the song needed to be at the end when we were in the beginning stages, and I would just morph it to get to that ending, right? I could, when an artist sends me a file, I know what the end is as soon as I hear it the first time, and I just can use my skills to get there, right? What was causing me so much panic and so much like just angst was that I knew what I wanted my end to be, but I didn't know how I was going to facilitate getting to that path. And now what I see at the end versus what I'm doing to get there feels like it's congruent. Like it's like, we're on the same page. And anyway, I've said this like in 4 different variations of I'm pumped and I'm excited. And I finally, I just know I got to put one foot in front of the other the right way. And the swing is dope. My short game is horrific. And I'm shocked that I'm shooting the scores I'm shooting. But when I look at the data, it's literally like it's all within 10 yards of the green right now is where I've lost all of my shots this weekend, which is just comical. So anyway, we'll jump into some bag stuff. The Nikes are back. I don't know, guys. The pings. I just going back from the Nikes to the pings. I did it for a week. I don't know. The Nikes are just there's something about it. I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like the pings. I don't like the pings. The I-230s. They're great. They're a great iron, but there's something with how the Nikes are, how they feel, how I can aim with them. There's something mint with those irons. They just feel so unreal. And I can, even at address, one of the issues I was having with the pings too is I set up an address and I close the face. I couldn't aim the face where I needed to aim it. There's just simple things like that. I got in with my buddy Tony Lovato, who is my guy for dealing with the clubs, and he and I have been experimenting. We tried actually flattening the Nikes a little bit, and we went a little too far, but then we scaled them back, and we found, I think, the right lie angle setup for the Nikes, which works great. So I think the next step is I've got to put X100s in them. I've got S300s in them right now, which I've kind of enjoyed because it's a heavier shaft. It's a 130-gram shaft, but it's not as stiff. And I think I need to make them stiffer because I'm just feeling it. But if I put X100s in these and then train with that, and I'm just gonna leave them like this for now because the pings. I'm like, I can feel my hands wanting to flip at them. There's something in them that I don't like, and there's a right crappy miss that exists in them that I don't like, and I don't know how to diagnose this. But I just don't know if it's for me. I don't know. So the pings have been banished back to the timeout closet for now. And I don't know if the Nikes are it, but in the interim, they're way more enjoyable to train with and practice with and get feedback from than the pings. So that's that. So alluding to my toxic behavior, maybe the pings will go back up on Marketplace after this podcast because I just don't want them. I don't. So I'm going to try and put, I think maybe we'll do a video on putting X100s in them and see how that translates. Because really, the reason why I want that is I really want the P7 TWs, but I'm going to wait until TaylorMade unveils their new irons, which I think should be unveiled within the next 2 months. So I'll do this in the interim while I wait, because I'm just curious if they come out with a blade more like the P730, because all their TaylorMade staffers, their big boys like Rory and they're either playing the Tiger blades or they're playing the P730s just rebadged. Like Rory's Proto is a P730. DJ's Proto is a P730. Morikawa was in a P730, but I think he might have switched off. But none of them have adopted the MB line. And I'm very curious to see if they go back to something closer to what their main guys like, because what's the point of having staff guys who don't play the gear? But with that, the Nikes look so good to my eye, and that's what the P7 TWs look like. And so I just wonder if I could make that work and then put something maybe a little more forgiving from 5-iron down or whatever. We'll see. That's to be determined and to be tested. The other thing is I've been testing these new shoes. I made a video about them last week. These new cricket shoes, they're phenomenal. Phantom cricket shoes. These shoes have been great. So played with them, I think it's about a week and a half now I've had them. Used them throughout the entire tournament. My knees feel great. Like I said, driver, I am crushing driver right now and feeling phenomenal. Like my knees used to have some like residual like tightness, especially after like tournament days where I'm like doing the full on walk and everything. And I do a lot of walk golf and I feel great this week. So I think there's something with this brand and with those shoes. And if you haven't yet, check out my review of Phantom cricket shoes. It's on my channel. Very, very good shoe. And stay tuned. I'm going to try and do something cool with that because I think there's some secret sauce to this shoe. The other thing is, one of you guys commented you want an update on the Kiko golf gloves. Guys, it's the only glove I've been using for months now, and it's great. I don't rip it almost ever. It takes a lot for me to put a hole through the thumb. That's where I rip my gloves. Like I don't even, I forget to change over gloves. I could probably go two weeks on one glove. And what I do now is I just rotate them. So I get even more out of them. So I don't even know. I've got 3 gloves in a rotation right now. And I haven't put a new one in play. I can't even remember. Because that's just how good they are. Like they don't wear out. So I don't swap them out. And if you get wet or if it's like really hot out and you get sweaty, like if they get wet, they don't get that weird crinkly thing that like a lot of gloves do. They just kind of bounce back into like normal glove. Like it's weird. So it's very cool. GG10 is the promo code if you are interested in them. Again, I don't promote anything I don't use. And this was the only brand so far that I've ever pushed that I have an actual affiliation with. So just something that you guys are kind of aware of. Like I have no other brand affiliations. Anything you guys see me talk about is just stuff I've personally enjoy. With Kiko in particular, it's just something that I was looking to solve this problem, and I just needed a glove that was going to last. And I'm a firm believer in the technology because it works. And there's nothing else. I'll do a video too showing you guys the durability test coming up where, and Andrew, the owner, put it on his TikTok where he took like a new glove, a premium glove, and rubbed the golf glove on the palm and showed the wear of just rubbing the golf glove on the palm, and then did it to a used version of his glove, the Kiko glove, and there's nothing. And the other glove looks like it's been destroyed. So it's just really funny how good the product is that like you could just see it it's so obvious. But then I think people just, people get caught up in like their brands and what they use. And I don't know, I'm a big guy on performance. Like for me, performance moves a big needle, and I don't want to use things that put me at a detriment. And so these gloves are it for me. And I love them. I stand by it. And I encourage you to try it if you are looking for something that's going to kind of withstand multiple uses and last longer. So that's something. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the solo pod. Hope you guys enjoyed my descent into the madness. Unfortunately, we're just Tournaments are going to be on hold, but it is what it is. The swing is cooking. I'm really pumped. The growth is there. All the right things are happening. I just am continuing to be patient, and I am rolling into it with probably the most positivity I have ever had. And I think that's awesome, because I never got to this place in my music journey. It's so funny. In music, I got really good and I could kill it, but I never was this positive. I never had this much of an open mind and an open heart to what was coming next, despite the fact that I was way more successful than I was having success. And so it's funny with this golf stuff, as I just feel like it's coming. I don't know when it's supposed to come, but I just keep getting these new life lessons that just keep unveiling themselves. And there's always a new frontier. And, this past weekend with this tournament, like, the positives were, I know what I'm doing with the swing is correct. I have to, unfortunately, go through this organic process of letting it, work through my bunker and my short game area. But I also have not addressed some things with my body. And that's also been a thing that's popped up before. I've just never really talked about it. So like, when I posted my video about one more year, talking about one more year, last year, the reason why I made that video is there were some things in my body that I had recognized at the time that were glaring faults that I needed to fix. And I knew I couldn't do that until I knew I wasn't able to swing at a pro level until I fixed those things. So I fixed those things, and now this next layer has popped in. And I'm realizing there were some big faults there, and even my physio guy said, especially with the hips. And now that I have the right mechanics and the right blueprint to follow with the swing, I know if I match those two things up, it's like, oh, we are so close. So that gives me a lot of excitement and a lot of hope. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you found this interesting. And hopefully this made your drive to work, the gym, whatever it is. I appreciate all of you that listen, and I thank you guys very much. And I'm just pumped that anybody wants to take the time and listen to this podcast and comment and any of that. So I appreciate you all enduring my madness. And I'm excited to continue to grind. The podcast is still going to be rolling out. We're still going to be giving updates, still all the things. And you know what's exciting too is now it frees me up to just make fun golf content, which I have not done in a very long time. And so the fun is coming. And hopefully you've seen that reflected in the vibe of the content that has kind of come out. I feel like that's there. So trying to be more my authentic self, which is a very loud, fun Italian dude. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Hope you have a phenomenal day, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.